Hello guys, welcome to another video. As you can see over here, I have a V6 24 valve to do the timing job, and I already can see some marks over here that somebody did to do this job. I do not like to do that, as you may know by now, and just like the twin spark engines and other engines, you have to have the locks to do this job. Well, to do it properly, that is. These locks will do for 2.5 and 3 liter engines. This one over here is a 2.5 liter engine. I also will replace here the water pump. This engine was in a wreck, so these bearings are all very strange. The water pump over here has a little bit of a play, so it will be replaced, not to have any surprises once we have this engine on the car, because on the later video I will put this engine inside of that Alfa Romeo V6 that you may have seen in other videos on the channel. Okay, so valve covers off, I will put the locks in, and I will use new and high quality gaskets for this job. So let's go. Once more, down on the description I have a playlist for chains and belts for the timing, that is. Those videos are very important because I already talked about some of the adjustments that you have to have in mind when doing this style of engines with the locks I talked about on the twin spark engines, and they are very important. Those videos are very important for you to understand some of the things I will say about here on this engine. Being a more complex or complete engine with two banks over here, it may seem a little bit daunting, but believe me, it is not that difficult. And if you have the knowledge that I told you on the other videos of the twin spark engine mainly, and the chain of the 1.3 multi-jet engine, you will be able to do this job with much more ease. So very straightforward. You just want to make room for all of these assemblies. So I will remove here this pulley. I will remove here the lower one too. For this you need a 41, and I had to machine them a little bit down. This one was 2 millimeters overhaul down to be able to fit on there, with a bunch of adapters too. So the investment of this work was a little bit high. I'm still expecting another tool to see the TDC. Every time you have a old engine or an engine that comes from the scrapyard, do not trust the timing belt, because even if the timing belt is new or low miles, you don't know how long the car or the engine is on the scrapyard, and you can bust a belt. Look, this came like this, but no worries. Okay, you don't know if you can bust a belt and then bust your engine, and that is very bad. This being a lock nut, normally it comes out with a little bit of difficulty, but as you can see, the threads are good, and also the nut is fairly good. We have a large washer behind, and we have here the very valuable crank pulley. This crank pulley suffered a little bit, I don't know why or how yet. Let's see if with the disassembly I can find what the hell has happened with this engine, because with this all assembled, cannot find the reason why this is the way it is. Okay, to create the access here to take out the water pump, we need to take out here also the belt. But before removing the belt, I want to rotate the engine to TDC, confirm that we have TDC on the first cylinder, and next, or meanwhile, lock the cams in place. Okay, this is very crucial because I should not trust on any other marks that someone did, even if the engine has a factory belt. Sometimes, yes, sometimes the engine is not timed, so you must confirm everything always, all the time. So the nut is over here to help us to rotate the engine. I will remove here the valve covers, and let's begin the process of time the engine. Another thing, if you have an engine that comes from a scrapyard, first thing that you should do is to crank the engine with a ratchet or something. Turn the engine to see if it spins, if it goes 360 degrees all around, at least twice, to see if the engine is not seized or something worse, okay? Not really worse, but this screw appears not to be from here. This is my first time with the 24 valve. I have now better understanding on the 12 valve engines because of the 164s that I had here on the channel. But the 24 valve engines, this is the first one. So bear with me with my lack of knowledge on this engine, okay? The coils seem to be held down with 4 bolts. My god. Why 4? Cannot tell. I have some red droppings over here, so I have to be careful, and I will have to wear gloves. But then again, seems to be very, very old. Now, what I have to do is to create space and access to the valve cover itself. So everything that is attached to it must go, including here this harness. Cap over here is broken. It seems to be very common on these engines. On the 12 valve engines too. Really do not know why. Vibration possibly, or I don't know. Cannot tell. Really cannot tell. So I can see over here that the wiring is attached also to the injectors. Very nice. I'm beginning to like this engine already, and I can take out here the coils without taking out the connector just yet, because these are the old style connectors and I have to reach them from beneath, and if I can remove them, I will be, well, I have access to the underside. Okay, very nice. The coils are not coated. The coils do not have a specific position, unless if they have a different format, and there is no need to mark the position of them, except if you are tracing a fault, water contamination. Okay, WT40, let it, I don't know if it is savable. Another thing to see on the other engine. Well, if, like I was saying, if you are after a misfire, for example, you can do here a number to not to lose track of it, okay? Normally it is not necessary to do so. It's good. So to get to the injector plugs, the connectors, it is not very difficult, but but on these rear ones, they are behind here, the intakes, and I have to remove them anyway because of the access to the rear head. So I will remove here the intakes before the wiring. Okay, this one over here had a little bit of impact over here. Sadly, on the other engine, as it has LPG, it is drilled through because of the injector of the LPG, so I cannot save, well, I can, but I have to do something with the other one regarding plugging up that hole, possibly inform the customer about this and see what he wants to do. So I will take out here already the intakes. For this, I bought here a very special wrench, a 5mm ball end Allen key, which is great unless unless it isn't. Sometimes it escapes and makes it worse. Okay, so the ones that go straight through, I'll try to do with the normal 5, and the ones Oh, this is very too much tightening. Over here, I recommend always new bolts to stop this madness over here. On the 159, the interior door handle has a screw, a bolt. That screw is perfect for this application. You can buy a bag of, well, not a bag, but you can buy 12 over here, and they will do very good. In fact, that is the way that I always do on these engines. Well, on the 3 engines that I did so far. To remove the bolts, it is a little bit more challenging, but if you have a magnet, it will be very easy. This bolt over here already has the washer attached to it. Maybe this is a modification from factory or not. This one, the washer is not attached, so I believe the original ones are really like this, like the old one. But if you want to do 12, recommend you to do the way that I said. I will get the magnet. Well, half of them do not have any washers, another ones have, another ones are not from here. I already seen here a Volkswagen bolt, those green ones. This one too. This is Volkswagen. If it works, but if you want to be thorough, I like to do it thoroughly. So on the old ones, I had space. On the 12 valve ones, I had a lot of space to do this. On these ones, maybe I have to take out this sleeve backwards to create more space. I cannot do it because it has a step over there. So I cannot, on the 12 valve does not have that. Interesting. Well, let's push on and try to see if you can do this, because unlike the 12 valve, this intake manifold is attached to... No. Yes. No, yes. No. It's not attached to the to the cover. It seems like it, but it is not. So I can do it like on the 12 valve. I can release it back. If you are going to use this kind of clamps, try to use a size that is more correct, okay? Just to avoid us to scrape here with our fingers and whatnot. Be careful not to break this. I believe it may happen. So as you can see over here, it ends like this. It appears to be just one piece, but in fact it is not. Now that I think about it, of course it has to be two pieces because of the coils. Sometimes I really am dumb, am I? Another modification that I see over here is the 12 valve ones have an O-ring underneath, and these ones over here have a gasket which appears to be leaking, creating misfires and perhaps bad idle, also bad fuel mileage. As you can see here, these dark spots. If this was a turbo, that's why maybe on the turbo versions, the 12 valve, it is an O-ring. It's much more resistant than this one. Now this is crucial not to let anything go inside there. Also, my workshop is open, so birds and flies and wasps and whatever can go in, and washers and bolts and nuts. Over here on the coils, I could just take them to a side and just do the work quickly and fast to try to save a penny or two to the customer. I can do that. I could do that, but as you can see on number 4 over there, I had problems there on the plug, on the connector, and just for 5 more minutes to do the complete job. What do you think? So if you have all of this work to get to the spark plugs while you are doing here the timing, I urge you to replace the spark plugs altogether, because in the future, when you have to do another timing job, it's time to replace the spark plugs again. So very easy. This is the way to save on labor, the smart way. Take out here the ground. So it's getting dark, guys. I will rest for today and continue this job tomorrow. Okay. The 3 front ones over here were very loose, very strange. I just want to see the condition of the spark plugs. Maybe they are recent, maybe not. Beware that the WD-40 that I sprayed on will contaminate the spark plug. Well, not in a bad way, but on the appreciation level, I have to consider the wetness of the WD-40. Very nice spark plugs. NGK Platinum. Very nice gap. I'd say they look recent. Very nice. Now, how nice are there for another timing belt? Again, I have to consult with the customer to know if he wants to replace the 6 of them, and only has to worry about that for another timing belt. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. This is a way better engine than the 12 valve. I have a very golden-like interior on the engine. These are the seals for the spark plug tubes. It comes with the new gaskets. Okay. Well, I have to see here if I have any problems on the cams. Apparently there are not. I have to rotate the engine to see. This is another good thing about doing the timings like this, is I can appreciate the inside of the engine to see if any damage is occurring. And as I can see, no problems whatsoever are happening over here, which is really, really nice. The cover itself is way better than the 12 valve because it has more screws, more bolts. The 12 valve one has less, and it tends to warp a little bit and create more oil leaks. Apart from that, these gaskets are rubber and not paper material, which is also better for preventing leaks. Be careful not to lose the washers, they are separate from the bolts. Over here I have this paint over here that the guys at the salvage yard put in, which means that if you break that seal, the warranty is lost. Really, can I do a timing belt please to warranty myself that I can use this engine? Really, sometimes I do not understand the thinking of some people. So I will break the seal. I broke the seal and I want to do this belt, okay? So again, here on this side, very, very good. The condition of the engine is really, really good in my view. I have some carbon, but not with 160,000 kilometers, not enough to cause any concerns. Very golden color like I like to see. Really very, very nice. The cams are very good. So good days. So now I will spin the engine until I have TDC here on this tool. This is not the tool for it, of course, okay? But it's close enough so we can do here the starting, but it's close enough here so we can do the initial phase of our timing job. Because if the cams are not timed correctly, it does not really matter right now the TDC of the engine. You just want to have it close enough so you can start to do here the locking of the cams and to see here all of the rest of the job. So I'll spin it around until I have the maximum height here on this tool by eye. Right about there, okay? It is not very crucial right now, like I said, because if the cams that do not fit, I have to fiddle with it anyway, so it does not really matter right now. After I get my new tool, I will do the TDC properly, okay? As you saw on the twin spark engine, it is doable with the new belt in place even. And so just like on the twin spark engines, you have here the tools, so two for each head. I have here, it says that it goes for 2.5 liter and 3 liter engines. A means aspiration or aspirazione in Italian or Portuguese. The X means dextra, which means right side of the engine. This is the right side of the engine. First cylinder. So this is the aspiration. And you put here, well, over there, but being a 24 valve, you can see that is over there. But I will remove here these two bolts in order to clamp the cam in place. Over here, the same thing. So I have here Alfa 2.5 and 3 liter. S means scaparia, which means exhaust. DX means dextra or right side, first cylinder. So first cylinder over here, and it matches. First cylinder, second, third. The fourth one is right over there. Fourth, fifth, sixth. Now I have here a tool that says over there S, which means scaparia. SX means left side or sinistra in Italian. Fourth cylinder. And again, I will take out here the two bolts and lock the cam in place. Over here I have the last one, and it says here aspiration with the A or aspirazione in Italian. SX means left side, sixth cylinder. It goes right there, okay? Now with the belt still in place, take out here this cover and insert the locking tool, but not all the way through, because you want to adjust it if necessary, and the adjustment will be later, okay? Just repeat the process on the other cams. Belt on, just snug the locking tool down. Come on, man. Be nice. I'm having a rough day. Be nice. Make sure the arrows point to the face of the engine. This is the real world, guys. You do not need right away the tool over here, because the engine itself may be out of tuning, out of time. In effect, it is a bit. So this is not to be concerned right now. Now we are ready to take out the belt. The TDC, you can find it later, more thoroughly. I have to do something about that. Well, about the TDC, it is near enough, so not with the tool yet, okay? So over here on this situation, if you are having doubts about my explanations, I already did a journey about timing belts and chains on the channel, and today I'm being a little bit less, how can I say it, complete on my explanations, maybe, because I'm repeating myself, and I do not want to do that, because I do not want to bore you. And if you want to know more about belts and chains, I have my playlist down on the description, so you to understand. Okay, better. So belt off. Save it to compare the length with the new one. Okay, see if you have any oil leaks. If you have, now it's the time to replace the look at that, to replace the seals. So once again over here on this engine, can you hear it? Sometimes what happens is someone put, I don't know if it is true or not on this case, but sometimes what happens, people only put here the belt because everything seems okay with this and that and the tensioner, but people forget that these parts have to do a lot more, about 100,000 kilometers or more, 150,000 kilometers, have to do like more than 8 years or something. And even though the bearings may seem good at that time, they will suffer double the work they were designed to. Okay, so be very careful with that. Over here on the cams, before taking out here the bolts, because I want to see if I have a keyway, or if I have it, if it is adjustable or if it is free. I want to, like I said, my cam locks are not bolted all the way down because I want to adjust them before. So I will search for the perfect position over here to bolt down the cam locks on all 4 cams. So this is a quad cam engine, okay? And only then I will secure it with this tool and take out the bolt to see how is the system behind here, okay, here and there. I know this may be a little bit daunting. If you have any questions, tell me down on the comments so I can try to help you out. These tools are not perfect. Oh my god, I spent so much money with these tools and they are not perfect. Then have a little bit of a play. Jesus Christ. Okay, better. A little bit of a force over there. Okay, better. Let's see these ones over here, how they react. Okay. Horrible. These locks are horrible. The two exhaust ones are very... well, maybe they are switched off. But no, the X, SX. Before I return here the tools, let's see if here the keyway of the gears is fixed or has any adjustment before I decide anything at all. So if I have adjustment over here, I really do have to have perfect cam locks. If I have a fixed keyway, does not matter, because at that time what will matter is the teeth on the gears, and they are pressed in and they are free, completely free, I believe. They are completely free, so the cams do all of the work. They are cone shaped, like a Volkswagen product, for example, which means they have infinite adjustment. It is infinite, which means the cam locks must be perfect, and they are not. Well, the intake ones are, but the exhaust ones are not. How can I do this? I have to take them back. Meanwhile, I can continue to work because I can put everything together again, and the adjustment can be done afterwards, like I showed you on the twin spark engine. In fact, you should do the final adjustment with the belt tensioned. Every time you do X bolts, tap them. Now it's time to take out the water pump. And with that, to reach down onto these two bolts, I have to take out here the covers. Again, if you have any leaks on the seals, now is the time. These ones appear to be very good. Normally here on this climate in Portugal, the seals on the face of the timing on Alfa engines appear to held up very, very nicely. Now I have space and confidence to do so. Could try to do it without removing this, but start to damage the sheet metal, the protection that was over here, because the bolts will come up, right? And over here, I don't know, maybe I have to take out this plate. Maybe. Well, maybe I think that's all that for nothing, because the water pump comes out this way and this flange comes with the water pump. Like I said, this is my first time on the 24 valve engine, and even the 12 valve, it's different to 12 valve. Make sure all the bolts are the same length all around. On the 12 valve they are not. On this one, so far they are. This also will give me the possibility to inspect the engine inside. I have coolant. Really nice, instead of water. Yay! This water pump still was the original one or a replacement original one. See here the play. 1 bolt missing, sorry. Then again, more antifreeze, which is excellent news. The more the better. Antifreeze, that is. Now this flange over here should slide on this pipe. Should slide. If it is too bad, I will not attempt to do that because I may damage the seal or something, and I will do the 4 bolts over here and that's it. Do not want to risk it too much. Not too much. Ooh. Ooh. I have a feeling this is original. Granted, this pump is not driven by the drive belt, by the cam belt, but to remove it, to replace it, you have to remove the timing belt. So the job, the labor to do it is immense. And for what, 100 euros, well, or was it 150 euros? I do not remember. Really not worth it to risk it. The impeller was already broken and ready to go off. Just about ready. The inside of the engine is perfect. Perfect. Really good. A little bit of yeah. This is not the original one, but it was an original pump because I can see here RTV over the original gasket even. Very bad job on that. Mixing RTV with paper gasket is not a good idea at all. So clean this up all very well. Now make sure the new parts fit over here and carry on with your work. As you can see now, you want to snug down all of the bolts. The torque may be about 10 newtons. I probably will do it by feel, but I can do it also with the torque wrench. Well, it is such a big part that I will do with the torque wrench. Up here also 10. The timing kit is INA brand. Those two bearings are INA too. And the tensioner is INA, but it is made by Sytems from Canada, just like the original one. I say that about 40 Newton meters. Do not know for sure. Feel free to correct me, okay? Up here on the tensioner we have a hex bolt head over here. And on the adjustment part we have a 13mm head one. Just snug it in place. Too snug. Not snug enough. Come on. Okay. So. Now here on the cams I will put some grease to help out with the sliding motion of the gear when I have the opportunity to stretch the belt. This also will prevent the gear to be stuck on there. Beware that we have here a cone-shaped cam and gear assembly, so the tightening of the bolt must be very low. Here on the water pump I also put some to prevent corrosion between the water pump shaft and well, this flange over here and the pulley itself. Does not matter the position. Slides good. Snug and back. Here the same deal. Snug and back. Spins freely. So we can put the belt in because, as we know now, this is completely free. So finding TDC is no problem whatsoever. I put the belt in and then adjust TDC. Adjust there the cams with different tools. Okay, this is very, very forgiving, this engine. So it is very nice to work with. I imagine it will be a pain in the ass if you do not have the lock tools and to try to do the marks that were here on this engine and the cam just keeps on slipping because the lifters and the springs of the valves tend to push the gears out of place. But in this way it's very, very easy. There is absolutely no worries about the position of the teeth here on the pulleys because they are free, so you can put them wherever you feel like it. Very, very forgiving, this engine. Very easy to do. Very nice. It's sublime. Really, really good. Now it's time here for the tensioner. The tensioner will tension the belt and the gears will turn once we have the tensioning of the belt. So as we are tensioning the belt, the cogs are turning, the gears are turning, but the cams themselves are locked in place, right? Even after that, you still can find TTC with the tension on the belt. Really, that's even better to do because I prefer to find TTC and the cams with the belt tensioned. Really, I'm really loving this engine. I'm really surprised how easy it is, how forgiving it is, if you have the right procedures, of course. But even if you deviate a little bit, it is really, really forgiving. Really nice. So sad this engine no longer exists. So over here on the tensioner, again, very forgiving. I suspect a tool is required to engage over here and twist the tensioner, but I can see over here that I can very easily push it to its place. And that arrow over there has to meet with that groove. Very easy to reach there. Very nice. And then just clamp on the bolt. Wow. I'm really... Okay, I love this thing. Now notice when I'm doing here the tensioning of the tensioner, notice the gears spinning as I am doing the tension. Look at this. How much they spin. This is why it is very difficult to, or almost impossible, to time an engine like this if you do not follow this procedure. So let's go, carry on, put this in place. It's in. It's not final, okay, you can readjust whenever you want. But I advise you to not to forget about this one, because I may. And now, the party trick, just like on the timing chain on the 1.3 liter, I can move the crankshaft. All this moves, but the cams are standstill. So I can adjust this the best way possible. Best of all, I already have tension on a belt, which gives me great confidence on the final adjustment. All of this is explained in very high detail on the twin spark engine, and I hope this video too is explanatory. Always make sure to do these procedures as the factory intended, because believe me, it is much easier to do than just to start taking shortcuts and try to do it faster, but in reality it's way worse than just do it like this. Here we go, the extender has arrived. I have here my clock, and now we are ready to finalize here the timing of this engine. Meanwhile, while I was waiting for the extender, I got busy removing here this engine, so this job will be on the future video. Maybe in a few weeks it will be available for you to see, okay? So this engine will go, this engine here snapped the timing belt, as you can see over there on the floor, and I'm removing everything necessary to put the new engine on this car. I'm also doing here some brake work. A playlist for that is down on the description so you to see, and suspension work also, a video for that. A playlist for that is down on the description so you to see what's what, okay? Just like on the other engines that I did on the channel, as soon as I spin the crankshaft, I'm seeing here TDC. You try to find the top dead center on the gauge. With the belt on and everything here is loose, okay? So you can spin freely, but the cams are locked with the tools. So I think it's over there. 9. Okay, go back again. Yeah. maybe on there. I set it to 0. You can set it to any number you want. 0 is makes more sense for me. Okay. It has no spark plugs, so it is very smooth to spin. Spin it at least twice. The more the better. 3 times, 4, 5, 10. There you go. Because these engines have the reputation to throw out the belt. And that is not good. So you want to make sure it does not do that before you start to assemble everything again. I just spin it about 4 or 5 times. It is nice now. And let's see if it is timed. Not yet. Second turn. Check TDC again, so 2 more turns. I have to readjust there the clock. Okay, now it's time to see if the locks go in, and if they do, job done. Cool thing about the 24 valve, you can see over here, it is nice. No need to, well, I took out this journal over here, the journal cover, and it is okay. But you can also see like this, at least to confirm at the end, everything is nice. On the other hand, everything is nice too, so we are good, okay? Here you have about 30 Newton meters. Always starting by hand, and beware of the socket that you are using, because I already saw on some engines, Ford engines, the wrong socket can crack the porcelain of the spark plug. Let's see here the wiring. So this wiring over here is much better than the other one. The other one has a lot of miles, and also the other one was modified because of the LPG, and I do not want to mess with that. No time for that, okay? Possibly it was underneath. Yes, it was. Over here, yeah. Yeah. Now the famous intakes. Now it's just a matter here of assembling the covers, the top cover and everything else. If you want to follow the rest of the assembly of this engine, the alternator, the power sinking pump, the AC compressor on this side, gearbox, clutch, everything, down on the description will be a link for that, okay? If you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to, please share it with your friends. And down on the description, I have links for videos related to this one, other videos related to other areas of the car. Yes, I know this is not like this, but it may work. Is it? And also I have links for help for the channel if you are able to do so. So see you next time, guys. Bye.